Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Women in Engineering Open Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, the Committee for Women in Engineering, WIE, has given women engineers across different continents an opportunity for knowledge sharing across all disciplines of engineering, thereby positioning the woman engineer for better professional delivery. So for this forum, we would like to provide you a very excellent opportunity to know what we are doing, activities, and opportunity for you to grow further. Now, we would like to invite our lovely and excellent Chair Ladies, Engineer Dr. Enyonam, to address her welcome notes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, WIE. And I would like to use this opportunity on behalf of the Women in Engineering Committee and on my own behalf to welcome us all and to say that our Honorable President of WFEO, Engineer Mustafa Shehu, we don't know whether he's here with us, all presidents and chairs of women in engineering groups within WFEO regions and PEIs, the executive director of WFEO, Mr. Jack DeMerrill, and Ivan and the team, the WFEO team leads, WFEO members, officers of WFEO Secretariat and engineers of the Secretariat as well, fellow engineers, ladies and gentlemen, I deem it a great honor to welcome everyone to the second open forum webinar of the Committee of Women in Engineering, World Federation of Engineering Organizations, WFEO. It is indeed a great privilege for the committee to host this webinar for the second time since my appointment as chair of the committee. And I especially want to use this opportunity to thank everyone for the support we have received so far. And also thank you for honoring our invitation and making time to join us for this webinar. As detailed in our program outline, the purpose of the second open forum webinar today is to officially provide WIE committee members and all WIE members worldwide, associates, partners, with a short report on the activities undertaken by the WIE committee since our first open forum. And also we intend to receive strategic plans from the members of the executive committee of WFEO. And also, we also would like to have a time of interaction and collaboration between members of the WIE committee. Over the past years, I would say like 5 years or so, we have been working on activities towards the achievement of our 4 overarching strategic themes, which include theme 1 says engineering workforce capacity building to increase diversity and inclusivity in the future skills pipeline. Theme 2, engineering workforce capacity building to encourage female engineering retention and leadership. Theme 3 is collection of engineering strategic indicators. And then theme 4 is working in partnership to address the sustainable development goals with a particular emphasis on goal 5 and its relationship with the other goals. This year, we received 11 country reports from our WIE representatives across the entire WFEO regions, from Angola, from Taiwan, United Kingdom, Nigeria, Liberia, Zimbabwe, Ghana, Rwanda, Tanzania, Zambia, and Namibia. Dear WFEO members, we would like to request that as we have received these country reports, our remaining country representatives and chairs, that's WIE chairs, will ensure that all WIE activities are aligned with the WIE strategic objectives that I've just mentioned and ensure that we are executing our activities nationally and internationally to achieve them. Today, we are privileged to receive insight from each of the themes. And we would like to welcome everyone to the open session and also take questions from members when it's time for questions. Please use the chat box to start asking your questions as we progress along. And we would like to collectively share and hope that by the end of the forum, we all understand our vision, our mission, our strategic objectives, and how we can individually contribute towards the achievement of these goals. I gladly welcome everyone to the second open forum webinar and ask for your full participation to make this event a success. Thank you so much and welcome us all to this webinar. I will move on. Why can I move on with the country report as my time is almost up? Okay, so I would like to move on. I'll share the presentation. I've mentioned already our strategic themes, but our vision as WFEO is to promote equality, diversity, and inclusivity in the engineering workforce. Our focus is on women. And then the mission statement is to harness all of us, our collaborative power as a group to attract, retain, and promote the cause of females and other underrepresented groups using innovation technology to achieve a sustainable world that is not leaving anyone behind. So our four themes I've mentioned already, and the WIE Committee is being supported by the Ghana Institution of Engineering, which is hosting the WIE Secretariat from 2024 to 2025. We have an executive committee that has representatives from all four regions. We also still working to get a rep on the executive committee from the Arab region. But I have on the showing the executive committee. Prof. Y is the vice chair, and then we have the team leads. I believe you all know them. Team 1 is Prof. Y and Engineer Sharon. Team 2, we are now getting 2 different team leads for Team 2. We've had a lot of back and forth with Team 2 leads, and so we have been able to recruit 2 people. Today, I think I'll have the opportunity, if she's able to join us, to introduce Engineer Nasira Lalu from Mauritius to work on Team 2 with another person who is yet to be to complete all the processes. Then Team 3 is Jeanette and Yvette. Team 4 is Dawn, and then Agness and Yetunde. So that is the executive body. And also at the secretariat level, myself, Y, and Phyllis, I believe you've heard a lot about Phyllis, and Aisha, Engineer Mavis, 2 engineers working with me, Engineer Mavis and Felicia are on the WIE committee as well. Our achievements, I'll just highlight our achievements. We've established the secretariat. We've also appointed the team leads. We've had 8 team lead meetings so far. We've also held meetings with the Society of Women Engineers in Liberia and also Rwanda. We've had an open forum that was last year webinar. We published 3 newsletters. We've also had the Inward 10th anniversary webinar on 21st June last year. We've also had the opportunity to give a plenary address at the ICE TSD 2024 conference. And then we've also had the 7th Women Engineers Forum. We've had a meeting with, I've mentioned it's female engineers. We've also had the Global Engineering conference committee meeting, which we held on 23rd October virtually, all of us. We also have have participated in the 4th WIE virtual STEAM competition. I mentioned we've received 11 country reports, that's representing 2024 country reports. We featured in partnership with the Zambia's West in a webinar on International Women and Girls, International Day of Women and Girls in Science. We was represented also for the 2024 UNESCO World under the theme Engineering Solutions, that was in Czech. We also were represented with a chair participating in a fireside discussion this year on World Engineering Day. We also joined the delegation from WFEO to participate in the 10th UN Multi-Stakeholder Forum. And our membership has grown from 72 to 82, representing additional countries, Angola, Liberia, we have Mauritius, Indonesia, also coming in. Peru is also joined. So I've mentioned that we've received these team reports. These are newsletters. These are pictures we took with the WIE Committee at Liberia and also Rwanda. Pictures of our virtual team leads meetings. We also have pictures of 10th Inward anniversary and then the 7th African Women Engineers Forum. We have flyers for our programs. And then we have some pictures from our committee members and then the PEIs as well. You see Nigeria up when showing their signage on International Women's Day. And then we also participated in a fireside chat and also had pictures on the World Engineering Day. So upcoming, we are encouraging our WIE members, and I want to stress on this. Please step up for nominations, WFEO nominations. We're also preparing a paper on harmonizing data collection. We have upcoming the Inward webinar and other webinars. We're also working with all chairs and representatives of WIE to be able to achieve the 2025. We're also partnering with WIE chairs and STCs, making sure that WIE is represented on all WFEO STCs as well. So I'll end here, and I would like to say thank you for helping WIE to achieve these great strides. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Our chair lady is very capable, full of energy. I think all of us, we have the same goals that we want to enhance and empower women engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, the Women in Engineering Committee, we have 4 teams. Just now we mentioned that Team 1 is on engineering workforce capacity building for diversity and inclusivity. Team 2 is to encourage female engineering retention and leadership. Team 3, we want to have the engineering strategy indicators. And Team 4, we are working in partnership to address the sustainable development goals. So ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to so-called brief you our strategy and how we will move forward. And I would like to share some of the information. So for Team 1, I myself from Malaysia, and we have our very pretty, capable ladies, Sharon from Zambia, and she's now on the way going to the Women Engineering Convention. So I would like to present her initiative and work. So Team 1, we want to increase diversity and inclusivity. And we also want to have this sort of very strong capacity building in the engineering environment for economy, social, and sustainable development. So ladies and gentlemen, next, we also want to promote creativity and bring sense of belonging. We want to promote teamwork. We are in the global world. We should work together. We want to improve decision making, be more innovative and creative. Next. Okay, and these are all the future pipelines for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a lot of ladies from various countries. We really hope that you can bring forward your activities and we can advertise and we can collaborate together. We commit for the capacity building program, which to attract the diverse future generation. We want to share your initiative so that we can use our membership to identify more innovative policy and program. And with all the activities organized in various countries, various organizations with women in engineering, we want to partner with you, provide guidance, and we share all the ideas we learn together and create an opportunity for more diverse strategy. Next. Next. Okay, these are we'll keep on hosting our women engineering sections and also collaborate in various conferences with special sections for women to speak, to address their voice. And there are more webinars in the pipeline on women engineering and leadership. So today we have the AI conferences and it's an online webinar, and as mentioned by the chair lady. Next. This is my good partners, Sharon. She's on the way to address her keynote in Women Engineers Conventions. And she's very keen. She wants to identify more partners within the engineering space. And she planned to host 2 webinars catered to represent the regions and also identify partners championing the cause of women engineering. And she has a very good heart to provide some mentorship through webinars, mentor-mentee program to be more inclusive and diversity for women engineering. That means for you. Next. Okay. Now we would like to invite the team leader for Team 3, Engineering Strategy Indicators.
Thank you very much, WIE. It's good to be here today. And as you can see on this slide, we have 2 theme leaders for Theme 3. We have myself, Jeanette Southwood, I'm from Canada, and we have Yvette Ramos, who represents Switzerland. The next slide, please. The focus of Theme 3 is the collection of engineering strategic indicators. The next slide, please. During this presentation today, we're going to share some background about strategic indicators. We're also going to describe some of the sub-themes within Theme 3 and Theme 3's objectives. We'll share data that had previously been received for what we call the scorecard, and we'll share a little bit about what is meant by the scorecard and what our next steps will be. And we'll wrap up our presentation with some acknowledgements and thanks. Next slide, please. On a global level, there's a lack of reliable data on the number of women qualifying as engineers, working in the engineering sector, and gaining professional status as registered engineers. This limits the ability to clearly assess the needs and gender disparity in the engineering profession, as well as the type and impact of actions needed. This lack of evidence is sometimes used to justify lack of action. I think we've all seen it. This use of disaggregated data helps us to understand and helps everyone to understand trends and provide a stronger basis for comparative analysis across countries and regions. It will also help to promulgate better understanding of challenges regarding retaining women in engineering. National data are available in some countries, but it's often difficult to compare from country to country. There's therefore a significant need and opportunity for leadership to collect reliable and accessible gender disaggregated global data on aspects of engineering according to definitions and methodologies, which will be available for comparison and benchmarking. And if I could go to the previous slide for a moment, please. The previous slide, please. That's perfect. Thank you. According to the UNESCO report, Cracking the Code, internationally comparable data are also needed on a larger scale to ensure evidence-informed planning and policymaking, as well as further documentation of effectiveness and impact of interventions. Next slide, please. Under the Women in Engineering Committee's Theme 3, Collection of Engineering Strategic Indicators, there are currently 4 sub-themes. Subtheme 3.1 is to create a methodology for standardizing and measuring gender disaggregated data on women in engineering and collect and publish this data annually. Subtheme 3.2 is to analyze the data collected under Subtheme 3.1 to establish evidence on the regional and global gender gaps in engineering. Subtheme 3.3 is to create a gender equality scorecard for WFEO and partners. And Subtheme 3.4 is to stimulate the integration of gender mainstreaming policies across WFEO and professional engineering institutions. And all of this work is to be completed in partnership with WFEO members and other national and international engineering organizations. Next slide, please. Our early work on this theme began with theme 3.3, the creation of a draft gender equality scorecard. Specifically, we looked at one potential measure, percentage of engineers who are women. With the help of Dawn Bonfield and Yatunda Holloway, a call out to WFEO members was undertaken, and the results are in the slide. I would draw your attention to the phrase on the left-hand side of the slide, that the definition of engineers differs from country to country. The next slide, please. In addition to the differences in definitions, this work also highlighted variations in national data collection methods and issues with global data comparability. The next slide, please. For example, Yvette Ramos, my partner on theme 3, has previously shared the process and methodology used in France. Next slide, please. As another example, this slide illustrates the process and methodology used in Canada. The next slide, please. In March 2024, we proposed the creation of a paper focused on harmonizing data collection on women engineers across countries, a proposal for standardized metrics and methodologies. The paper would look at comparability. Standardized data allows for meaningful comparisons across different countries and regions, helping to identify global trends and disparities. It would also look at policy development because consistent data supports the creation of effective policies and initiatives aimed at increasing the representation of women in engineering. It would look at resource allocation because harmonized data helps in the efficient allocation of resources by highlighting areas with the greatest need for innovation. It would look at benchmarking to enable organizations around the world and countries to benchmark their progress against global standards and best practices. And then finally, it would look at financing the recommended actions through government funding, including grants and scholarships, and private sector investment via corporate social responsibility initiatives and partnerships through educational institutions. The next slide, please. So as next steps, we look forward to the following. We look forward to continued collaboration with our Women in Engineering Committee members on the paper to, as we describe it, to measure what we treasure. We look forward to presenting the status of the paper at the Women in Engineering INWED webinar on June the 23rd, along with country and region-specific methodologies and results. Later on in the year, we look forward to finalizing the paper, including sharing concrete case studies at national, regional, and global levels, and presenting these findings at the WFEO meeting in October 2025 in Shanghai. And finally, we're aiming to publish the paper by March 2026. So with that, I'm going to wrap up with some acknowledgements and thanks to those of us who've worked over the years to advance theme 3. Yatunda Holloway, Dawn Bonfield, Anya Lopez, Micheline Wiebe-Sleeman, Enyonam, and Shago Cornelius, our fellow members of the Women in Engineering Committee. However, we have a number of other colleagues on our Women in Engineering Committee who are currently working with us on the paper. And when we present that paper, the current findings and what is happening at a country-specific level in terms of data collection at our INWED webinar, you'll have an opportunity to meet them too, and we'll have an opportunity to thank them. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share on theme 3 today. And back to you, WIE.
Impressive. That's why I'll keep on saying that we have a very energetic very strong, very passionate committee here. So ladies and gentlemen, the team 4 is to work in partnership to address the Sustainable Development Goals. Let's welcome the team leader of team 4.
Thank you so much, WIE. Thank you for the privilege to present on behalf of Team 4. I'm going to present on behalf of my team lead, Engineer Dawn, who is not available today. So I will present on behalf of Team 4. So for Team 4, we are working in partnership to address the Sustainable Development Goal with particular emphasis on goal number 5 and its relation with the other goals. So my team members are as follows. We have our team lead, who is Engineer Dawn Bonfield from the UK. Myself from Zambia, I'm Engineer Agness Mofya Mwansa. And we also have Engineer Yetunde, the past chair of WFEO. She's from Nigeria. Next slide. Yeah, so as I introduced the theme, we are working in partnership to address the Sustainable Development Goals. So goal number 5 of the Sustainable Development Goal is gender equality, as you may all be aware. So specifically ensuring that women are not harmed or discriminated against, have equal rights, are ahead and empowered, and have equal access to all opportunities, including leadership and decision-making roles. So in engineering and technology, this means ensuring that women are equally represented at all levels. And that's what we are doing as WFEO. But also that engineering and technology is used in ways that empower and support the equality of women globally. So the work of Team 4 is to understand the relevance of Goal 5 to engineers and engineering, and to focus on the impact of gender equality on each of the Sustainable Development Goals individually. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, so for us to achieve our goal as Team 4, we have actions that we are working on from 2024, and we have to achieve them till 2027. So we have 6 action points and also deliverables, which some of them are at an advanced stage and others are still work in progress. So I'll go into details on the next slide. So action 4.1 is understanding Goal 5 and map the targets of Goal 5 to engineering and engineers. So for Goal 5 targets, we have end all forms of discrimination against all women and girls everywhere, and then eliminate all forms of violence, harmful practice, and exploitation of women and girls. And then we also have recognize and value unpaid care and domestic work. We also have ensure women's full and effective participation and equal opportunities for leadership at all levels of decision-making. So some of the examples are as follows. How do we ensure that women and girls are not discriminated against in their choices to study engineering or relation to their career pathways? How do we ensure that technology is not gender biased? So we have AI. How many women do we have that are participating in just the development of the AI and does not exhibit inequality and discrimination? How can technology be used to help women and girls escape violence and exploitation For example, through online support services, access to digital information, apps or equipment linked to personal safety. Support, promote, and encourage the labor reintegration and hiring of women after the maternity stage or their return to work, complying with the national current labor regulation, raise the profile of women engineers, ensure equal opportunity, remove biases and discrimination in the engineering sector, provide examples of inclusive leadership practices. Next slide. So action 4.2 is to examine the gender perspective in relation to the Sustainable Development Goals. So we have 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So we are linking the gender perspective on each and every Sustainable Development Goals. So on the screen there, I've shown some of the SDGs that we've linked already to the gender perspective. And so far we've done, I think we're only remaining with 2. Theme 4 is only remaining with 2 of the sustainable development. So we are almost concluding with this part of work. So we'll be sharing the link where all the SDGs have been linked to the gender perspective. So on the screen there, we have sustainable goal number 8, which is decent work and economic growth. So our goal is to build a diverse and inclusive engineering sector for economic and sustainable growth in which women are well represented, have equal opportunities for decent work and career progression, accessibility, flexibility, and equal pay for equal work. We need to have equal pay for equal work. And then also, I've also shown Sustainable Development Goal number 6, which is clean water and sanitation. And also, we've also aligned the gender perspective. So we'll be sharing the link to all the SDGs and for people to see how we have linked the gender perspective. Next slide. Yeah, so the next, we are also in support for climate change. So we are working with WFEO. We are putting our inputs as women in engineering on the WFEO Climate Change Declaration. So for this, you can find it on the WFEO website and just see the component where we have also put our voice as women and how we would want to help women. So for this, we have women, women are more vulnerable to the impact of climate change. They depend on resources that are threatened and they have unequal access to other resources. Their ability to cope with the threats is limited due to inequality. They have a limited voice in decision-making. As you can see in the photo there, we have that woman who is making foods using firewood. She has to walk long distances to go and cut wood and come and make just one meal. So how can we make this easy in terms of technology? What technologies can we propose to make it easy for them? So I think last year we had a presentation during Inward where we had a presenter that was proposing the cook pot. The previous slide, please. Yeah, the cook pot, where you can just put your meal in that bag, the cook bag. You just put your meal there and it cooks. So we have to make it easy as women in engineering. What can we do to make it easy for other women also to benefit in terms of technologies? we need to be on the same page as well. So we are really working to ensure that climate change is supported, and this is done. So we need to propose technology solutions and ensure that women benefit as well. Next slide. So action 4.4 is understand the work of our own WIE members in relation to the SDGs they work in. So for theme 4, we've shared we've shared a database. There's a link to a database where we want all women in the engineering in the engineering field to put their profiles. And then also we shared a rolling PowerPoint. Yeah, so this is just an example of some of the inputs that we received in the rolling. We are doing this so that we understand what women across the world are doing and which sustainable development goals they are working in. This is to ensure that every time that we have webinars, or maybe we require someone to work on a certain solution, we just go to our database and retrieve their profile and propose their names. So when the link is shared to you, please ensure that you put in your profile. And also even just the rolling PowerPoint, we see what women are doing. We showcase our women. Yeah, so this is just an example. And then the next slide as well. For the next slide, this is the data that we are inputting in the database. So that's a biography of Eunice. Yeah, so we've received quite an overwhelming response in both the rolling PowerPoint and also the database, because the database is more detailed. Yeah, so just ensure that when that is shared with you, we are still receiving the profiles, so please continue sending them through to us. Next slide. Yeah, so action point 4.5 is bringing the gender perspective into the work of all the WFEO committees to mainstream gender perspective work. So in ensuring that this is done, actually we are going to have a roundtable discussion with all WFEO. We are planning to have that with all the WFEO chairpersons and just discuss the gender perspective. We need to ensure that if we have a chair that is working on water, on energy, they have to ensure that in their work, they include the gender perspective. So very soon, we are going to share that. It will be a roundtable discussion. So that is also in the pipeline to ensure that in their work, they also include the gender perspective. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, so the last action point that we're working on is we are working in collaboration with the WIE in organizing the annual virtual art competition for the young girls across Africa. So for this one, we've seen that this is an important in order for us to achieve our goal. So we've supported this from the first art competition that was held. That was in 2021, and now this year we are going to launch the 5th virtual art competition. So the objective of this art competition is to create STEM science, technologies, engineering, arts, and mathematics awareness, and motivates building blocks in early learners. Principally, we are targeting female children across the African continent using fine art. So we are also supporting in terms of, because to motivate these children to embrace arts and innovation, we have to give them some prizes. So we are supporting them, and we are calling on more people to support this venture. So this is the fifth that we are launching, and so far it's been very overwhelming and very successful. So we are hoping that the fifth one will be very, very successful. So this is the work for theme 4, working in partnership to address the sustainable development goals, with particular emphasis on goal number 5 and its relation with other goals. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is it from theme 4.
Thank you very much. So we are really committed to empower women engineering. All these themes actually are being addressed in partnership with our national member organizations, other WFEO standing committees, through our collaboration with WFEO partners and other associated organizations that include Invest International Network of Women Engineers and Scientists, United Nations Women, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, International Energy Association, International Science Council, and many, many organizations. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are keen to improve. We are keen to enhance and empower women in engineering. Now, we would like to hear from you the comments, idea, and questions. You look at the checkbox, there's question files. Feel free to address your comments. And we received quite a number of comments here. I try to summarize and for the chair ladies to answer. So our audience, they are trying to ask, how can I become a member? Are the nominations only open to women in engineering members? What if the person belongs to a local woman in engineering body and is very proactive or capable? Thank you. Chair ladies, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Why? The question again, the question is asking about how to become a member of the WIE Committee, right? So I believe all of us on the call here are members of our engineering institutions, or we are partners of other organizations. But if we are engineers, then we are members of our engineering, our local or national engineering institutions. And our national engineering institutions also are members of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations. And so they are required to nominate, because we can't have every woman on the committee. So they are required to nominate between 2 and 3, I think it's 2 members at least, or 3 maximum, onto the Women in Engineering Committee. And so if you want to be on this particular committee of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations, then you have to be nominated by your engineering institutions to represent the women engineers or the female engineers in that institution on this committee. So then you become someone who is going to represent your female engineering institution on this committee and take information from here in and out. Like this webinar we are having, you should have invited all the members to be able to also join and participate in this webinar. So that is how the structure is. We are not able to have every female as a member of this committee, but by virtue of you being a member of your engineering institution, who is a member of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations, you consider yourself as a member of WFEO, but not represented on the committee. I don't know if I've made myself clear.
Okay. There's another relevant question is, do we plan to support and delegate our Women in Engineering representative to the other WFEO committees? This is from Poland.
Can you, let me look at the question again. I
Do
didn't
we
hear
plan
the
to
question.
support? Oh, I think the answer is yes,
The answer
because
is
we are
yes.
so many. Yeah. There are so many WFEO committees like water and then young educations, IT. We are keen to have a woman in engineering representative in all the committees. The answer is yes.
Yes, so
One
it is one of our objectives to ensure that all the WFEO committees have female engineers or have representatives of women in engineering committee as part of the committee members. And that is one of our greatest objectives. And we are working with the chairs of all the STCs and other committees to ensure that we have the representation of women on the committees.
Yes. Okay. One more question is, are we organizing the Women in Engineering delegations to WFEO meeting in October 2025 from all parts of the world? I would like to join and be part of the team presenting topic engineering educations.
Okay,
They want to
so
go Shanghai.
okay, so the question is asking whether we are all represented in October the gathering in Shanghai. Is that it? In October?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And this is how it works. Because you are a member of your engineering institutions, we are working with, we are in league with the committee that is organizing that conference to ensure that we get all the information that is required so that we can relay it to you. You can seek for sponsorship so that you can be part of the meeting. And really, we want a lot, all of us, if we had that, we want all of us to be part of the conference because we want a very large representation of females at that conference. What we can do to facilitate is to work with WFEO to prepare your invitation letters, your sponsorship, your request for sponsorship letters, so that you can send it to the people you can approach. If it's your organizations or your engineering institutions, you can approach them so that they can sponsor you to attend the conference. And so that is the information I can give with regards to that. I don't know if other team leads have other contributions to make on this.
Jeanette?
Okay, that's fine.
Chair,
Thank you.
Chair, I just want to contribute on the second question. The
Yes.
Okay.
question where they were asking about being part of the WFEO committees. I think in my presentation, I mentioned that apart from being part of that, we have to ensure that in the work of all the chairs of WFEO, because we have different chairs that are working on different issues such as capacity building, water, energy, education. They need to embrace and ensure that the gender perspective is part of their work. They should not leave it behind. So this committee is also working to ensure that that is ensured. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And to add to that, we are a few females in the engineering profession. And so when we find ourselves nominated to be on committees, it can be the Women in Engineering Committee or other committees of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations. We are expected to ensure that whatever actions are taken because of our theme 4, whatever decisions or whatever actions are taken has that element of inclusivity, ensuring that we are building an inclusive engineering workforce in everything that we are doing. So let's say, for instance, you are on the energy committee and you are preparing for the organization of probably a webinar on a certain topic in energy. You want to make sure that the panelists that are being proposed, we are making sure that we have at least a female representative on that panel. If it's possible, we make it equal representations. If it's not possible, but at least we should have that female representative. So all across the work that we are doing, we are ensuring that we are building an inclusive engineering workforce and making sure that we are not leaving the females behind. You remember, I when I was doing my presentation, I made mention that our mission is to ensure that we are not leaving anyone behind, and so that's what I can add to that. If there are any other comments on this,
Jeanette? Unmute, yeah.
Thanks very much. You had called my name in response to the question around Shanghai, and I just wanted to share that I didn't have any additional information other than what Enyonam had already shared. But thank you for asking. Back to you.
Okay, thank you. I think we have addressed most of the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the passion to empower women. We also would like to highlight your achievement. And please share your database profiles, then we can include in Team 4 initiative. Now, we would like to invite our pretty and beautiful Madam Agness to address your closing remarks.
Thank you so much, WIE. Thank you so much, everyone.
Can I, Agness, before please it's me. I wanted
No
to
problem.
highlight that our newsletter, we normally send in requests for activities that have happened in your PEIs and in your organizations in relation to women in engineering activities. And we normally will ask that you provide information so that we can publish it in the newsletter. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of reps or a lot of information coming in from our representatives on the committee. And so we would like to request that you pay attention. We are publishing it every quarter. This year, we want to make sure that we have 4 newsletters that have been published. And so please, 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 we do a lot. And one of the areas where we can get sponsorship is when we are able to put together our information, showcasing our activities, showcasing ourselves, so that we could get sponsors and funding agencies to say that, look, I think I'm interested in this particular activity that is happening in Zambia, and I would like to sponsor it. So please, let's use that as another avenue for finding sponsorship for your activities. So let's pay attention to that. Thank you.
That's why we need to, we hope that you can submit your activities, announcement, achievement to us. We can help you to promote your events and make you shine. And remember, at the end of the event, you need to submit your report so we can showcase in our Women in Engineering newsletter. Now, Agness, the floor is you for the closing remark. Please stay for the final photo, okay?
Yeah, so thank you so much to the participants. I can see we have an overwhelming response, and please just ensure that whenever we have open forums like this one that we are holding, we broadcast and ensure that all our members participate. I think in our chairperson's opening remarks, she emphasized that, you know, we have to work together. And for us to work together, we can only do it if we are working towards the same goal. And this is the forum where members can understand what we are doing, our vision, our strategic objective, in order for them to align to the overall strategic goal. So even theme 4 spoke about the collection of strategic indicators. So we need to have a common common goal. We need to have data that is aligned across all engineering professions. And also our able chair and chair, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for the second open forum. I think this was very engaging, and we hope that the next one will be even more engaging. We need to get feedback from the participants across the continent in order for us to improve in our work. In order to support the works of WFEO, we need to get feedback from the members. So this is a very, very important open forum, and we are hoping that we can have more participation. So for Sharon and WIE, theme 1, you have a lot of work to do in terms of capacity building, in order to increase diversity and inclusivity in the engineering sector. So for theme 4 as well, for theme 4, working in partnership, we need to work in partnership in order to achieve the goal, the common goal. And this is strategic development goal number 5, which is gender, gender equality, for all women and girls.
I don't know if okay, sorry. So
Yes, Chair, you can proceed.
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I also want to thank WFEO Secretariat. We have Ivan, thank you so much for ensuring that this was a very successful webinar.
It's my
The
pleasure.
platform that the platform that you have provided. Thank you so much. And the Ghana Engineers, Institution of Engineers, thank you very much for hosting WIE. We really appreciate. You are really doing a lot. Yeah, so we have from the Secretariat, we have Phyllis that is ever sharing a lot of things. So let's take advantage. I think Chair has emphasized the point of participating and responding to the things that we are ever sharing. We need to get more feedback. We need to get what you, the WIE members, are doing in your countries, and then put the document together. You know, that can help us and see what women in engineering across the world are doing. So in terms of the newsletter, so we hope that the next newsletter we can have an overwhelming response. So also Jeanette spoke about the paper that they are doing. Let's ensure that we support. And at the end of the day, we are going to share it and to the members. And we are hoping that we can also have feedback from you. So thank you so much. Thank you for the participants that have joined. And we look forward to the next open forum, which will communicate very soon. Yeah, thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you, thank you. Now is the photo section. Before that, I saw 2 new questions. The first question is on how does one assess is to fill in their profile, as mentioned by Agness. Second question is, which email address should we send suggested articles for the newsletter to? Okay, we have all your contacts. We will try to send you the email to address this interesting question. Okay, now photo section, can you open up on your camera?
So why did you answer the question about this thing? The newsletter.
One is on
Normally,
the email. Yeah. Yeah, you can answer.
normally we send out an announcement via email and also through the WhatsApp with the form and asking, it's a form, it's normally a Google form and it's asking you to fill.
I think those
Be captured.
those who raised the question, they are not in the email list, I guess. Bye-bye. See you.